Hello and welcome to What's on the Shelf. I'm your host Jen, and today we have another episode of Sunday Morning Kickstart for August 9th, 2020. So we'll get right down to it and see what we're looking at today. So as always, we are starting off with our lovely Canadian creators as our first spot for the show. So today we have two, and they're both going into their final days. So we have Sherlock's Mysteries interactive puzzle adventure, which looks amazingly well done. The concept of the game is it's both a book and there's also a tabletop form that you can do co-op mode with to try and solve the mystery of what's going on. So let's head over to their page and see what the video gives us.
Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest detective, has been poisoned. With his mind fading in and out of consciousness and only hours left to live, he needs your help. Do you have what it takes to save Sherlock and get to the bottom of this heinous crime?
Introducing Lucid Dreaming by Sherlock's Mysteries, a story-driven escape room game available in both book and board game formats. The book itself features over 100 pages of puzzles, riddles, enigmas, and mind-bending mysteries where you are the main character. Immerse yourself in 10 incredible chapters, each more devious than the last. Play alone or with a friend as you uncover case files, narrow down suspects, and search for a cure. The journal can be played at any time and does not require an internet connection. Simply download the app, open up the book, and begin the adventure of a lifetime. From the streets of London to the rivers of Egypt, Sherlock's Mysteries will have you traveling the world from the comfort of your home. Want to kick it up a notch? The Attaché features an incredibly detailed and carefully curated case of clues, evidence, maps, mystery objects, ciphers, and much more. Ideal for groups of up to 6 players, the Attaché holds not one, but all 10 unique chapters of lucid dreaming. Race the clock, or each other, as you decipher codes, link information, interact with witnesses, and unravel the secrets behind the mystery. Sherlock's Mysteries is led by award-winning escape room designer Ellie McGregor and her team of actors, writers, graphic artists, and software engineers. Thousands of hours of creative effort have been carefully compiled into both the journal and the attaché to create a compelling and immersive adventure that both new and experienced players can enjoy. With your support, we can reduce print and production costs for our backers and bring Sherlock's Mysteries to aspiring detectives around the world.
So that was the first one in our Canadian Creator Spotlight. Let's just take another quick look. So this is down to its last couple of days. It has funded. So let's take a quick look at the overview. So it looks amazingly well done. The details to the papers and the book itself look really well done. It's definitely something I would be interested in. I'm curious to see what... So there's 20 plus hours of gameplay. And there's the attaché, which is essentially, it looks like a suitcase full of the information and clues and stuff that you would get in the book, with more of a physical representation of that. So let's take a quick look at pledge managers here. So you can pledge at $10. You can get the journal for $40 Canadian. It's shipping worldwide. Or you can get the journal deluxe edition, which is $53 Canadian. There's also the collector's edition at $135, which comes with a whole bunch of stuff. There's also the pledge for the attaché, which is $270. That's quite a lot, but it's completely understandable with everything that's going into it. Would I buy it at that? Probably not. In all honesty, that's a little steep for me, even at Canadian prices. But the journal itself, I would be very interested in. So let's head over to our next Canadian creator. We have shown this before. It's With a Smile and a Gun from our Montreal-based creator. The Sherlock Holmes interactive puzzle adventure was from Vancouver, Canada. So this one is Montreal-based, a little bit closer to home. We have gotten to play this on Tabletopia. We've gotten to play the physical version of a prototype of this. We are simply in love with this game, and we are so happy that they funded at this point. I believe they're at, they have funded. This is a 2-player dice game with board control and also drafting mechanics. So let's get a little look at the video yet again, and let's see what we've got.
Al Capone once said, "You can get very far in life with a smile, but you can get a hell of a lot farther with a smile and a gun." It's not just a cheesy motto. That's the way of life here in Gattery City. Sure, you can look at it like a war and just fill up the river, but you'll lose. You gotta play it smart. Here's what you're gonna do. Keep your collar up. Don't make noise unless you know it's worth it. Get the blue coats out of your hair. Maybe send them for the West Siders. That's 2 birds. And that shadow that folks around keep talking about, all quiet like, see if you can find a way to use them to your advantage. Oh, you want mechanical details. Alright kid, here it is, straight. There's only a single 6 left in that dice pool. If you take it, they can't beef up their influence downtown. Doesn't matter what you do with it. Hell, hide it under your pillow for all I care. Just make sure it's not there on their turn. Oh, yeah, you'll probably want to make sure they don't get their hands on that contraband down here. You want to be the only provider in town, right? Let the blues pull it off the street, and miraculously, yours is worth more. Competition's bad for business, you know? That's all there is to it, friendo. If you can't take the heat, the Ravens will have your eyes and the Blues will scrape up what's left. But if you roll up your sleeves, keep your head on your shoulders, and outfox that dope on the other side, yeah, I'm thinking you'll get pretty far.
So this is another Canadian creator, Montreal-based. We can't talk about this game enough. We really enjoyed it for a 2-player game. We haven't gotten a chance to play the single-player mode, but there is a solo mode for this game, which was, I believe it was produced by... I'm trying to remember who was producing it, but I can't at the moment. But it's by a well-known person who does solo game setups. So it's definitely a must-have for our table. And now, for the Canadian pricing, you can get the print and play for $8 Canadian. You can get the full game, the physical copy, for $39 Canadian. And there is a retailer, there's a retailer pledge for $49 as well. We can't talk about this game enough. We enjoyed it immensely for a 2-player game. It does play in about 30 minutes, and it's different and it's unique. We can't stop talking about it. So definitely make sure to check it out if you've got a moment. And we're going to be right back as we head into our next section of what's coming up on Kickstarter in its final days. We'll be right back. Hello, and we're back with our Kickstarter final days spot for the show. So we've queued up some things that are ready to show off. So the first up is Roll Camera, the film board making game, or the filmmaking board game. So let's head on over to their page and see what they've got. This is going into its last 48 hours.
So you want to make a movie, huh? Do you have a script? Lethal Murder. Sounds like a hit to me. You're going to direct it, of course, so draw up the storyboard of scenes you want to shoot, assemble your team, and call the crew. Uh-oh. Looks like there are problems already. The producer insists on casting her niece in the film. This is going to slow everything down. Anyone got any ideas? Give all the actors fake mustaches? Definitely. That problem is solved. Excellent. The first scene is in the can. Ooh, a dramatic opening. Nice job, everyone. But there are 4 scenes left to go, more problems are cropping up, and you're running out of crew. What are you going to do? Roll camera!
Hello, I'm Malachi Ray Rempin, and in 2017, I kickstarted Itchy Feet, the travel game, to great success. Now I'm back with a board game based on my first true love, filmmaking. I've been making films since I was 10 years old, and it is not as glamorous as you might think. Filmmaking is an agonizing, terrifying, painful struggle to build a story shot by shot. And it's probably the most fun I've ever had in my life. That's why I designed Roll Camera, the filmmaking board game, so that you too can share in the experience of making movies.
Roll Camera is a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players. Each player takes a major role like director, producer, or star. On your turn, roll the crew dice and assign them to set. You shoot scenes by completing patterns on the scene cards in the storyboard. Flip them over and assemble them together in the editing room. The script determines which arrangement of scenes will gain you the quality needed to escape horrifying mediocrity. Track your budget and schedule on the clipboard, but don't run out of either or the game's over. Escalating problem cards will cause ongoing headaches, but your crew dice can also be spent on useful actions around the board, or on your player board. You can rewrite the script, build more set pieces, or quickly resolve a particularly thorny problem. The production meeting allows several players to simultaneously pitch ingenious idea cards from their hands, so that you can figure out the best way forward together. If you can complete 5 scenes before time and money run out, and the result is either high quality or so bad it's great, you win. When the game is over, you will have created a complete cinematic story. Grab some popcorn and read out your film, from lights up to fade out.
I've spent the last year and a half designing, testing, blind testing, and redesigning this game, and now it is ready to share with you. But I need your help to make it a reality. I have no plans to release this in retail or wide distribution after the campaign. I just need to raise enough to print the game at the manufacturer's minimum order quantity. So, if you want the game, now is your chance. Click that green button, back this project, and help us bring the joy of filmmaking to tabletops everywhere. Thank you.
So this still really intrigues me, and I wish I had the money to back it, especially since it seems to be going to be a limited print run for this particular game, but it's definitely something I would have backed if I had the funds. It is going into its last 48 hours, like I said, and price points aren't too bad. The layout of the page is great, and just to give you an idea of price points for the actual, if you're looking at doing the base game, the standard game pledge is... it's going to be $66 Canadian, and I believe there was a starring role was 200 Canadian, which gives you a bunch of extra stuff. Executive producer is $334. And I believe that was it. Yeah, so there was 3 pledges that you could do: the standard, starring role, and executive producer for this particular one. So let's just give me a second here and head over to our next one, going into its last 48 hours as well. It's Dollars to Donuts. So let's head on over and see what we've got.
Dollars to Donuts is an easy-to-learn, quick-to-play, tile-laying set collection game that defies all borders. Unlike most tile layers, you can lay your tiles in any orientation and even hang them off the edge of your player mat. Points are scored for matching donut halves between tiles, but even mismatches help because they earn you money you can spend on donut tiles in future turns. Satisfy customers for extra points. Collect customers from each neighborhood for even more points. Fill gaps on your mat with donut holes, which is important because every empty space hurts your score at the end of the game. Dollars to Donuts was created by Flat Out Games, the team behind Calico and the award-winning Point Salad. It's beautifully illustrated by Dylan Mangini and thoughtfully developed for players of all ages. Kids enjoy the simple pattern matching. Casual gamers enjoy the breezy resource management, and strategists get lost in the tight visual puzzle. Please take a moment to consider supporting our campaign. We're ready to produce this wonderful game. All we need is your support to make it a delicious reality.
So this is still something that really catches my eye, and the price point isn't too bad. Again, it's going into its last 48 hours. Let me just double check and see. Let's see here what the price point was. It's 39 Canadian dollars for the base game, and if you wanted the deluxe upgrade, it was $53. So going into our next one, heading into its final days. So this one has a little bit a longer time. It's down to its last 5 or 6 days. So this is the Meow Mayhem, a cat board game.
Meow Mayhem is a card game where you're a cat that must get the highest reputation by doing the most mischievous acts. But it's not so easy, because when you gain reputation, you lose karma. And if you lose too much karma, then you will be punished. Each round of the game is in a different room with different rules. That's how you gain action cards in your hand and also the chance to become the baddest cat that there ever was. So make your way through the house, destroy, be admired, find treasure, and claw your way to the top.
Hey, my name is Vic, and I'm the artist and creator of Meow Mayhem, and I'm here today with my prototype to talk to you guys about the game and also about why I'm doing a Kickstarter. So it's been in the works for well over a year and a half now, and I've learned a lot of things about making a game. It features over 150 hand-painted illustrations by yours truly. And basically, I'm really hoping to be able to share this game with you guys. However, it's quite expensive to print a card game that has so many different components in it, which is why I'm asking you for your help. So if you can't help support the game monetarily right now, please share it to your friends on social media. The world needs more cat stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for your support.
So again, this game is super cute looking. I really wish I could back it. There's a lot going on for it. It is her second creation on Kickstarter, so it looks very well done. And there's a lot of unique art to it. So for the base game, let me just double check here. So for the base game, it is $33 Canadian. For getting 2 copies, it's $50. To get a signed copy, it's $90 Canadian. I think it's a signed copy. Yeah, some stickers, some extra stuff. And then the most baddest cat ever is the highest tier, which is 124 Canadian. So a little bit higher up, but you get the game, a signed copy of the box, vinyl stickers, an original water painting of your pet thank you card. So it still has quite a lot going on for it. I love the artwork. The artwork is something very unique. And again, it's all done by Vic. It looks extremely well done. And I really hope they reach their funding goal. This is going into its last 6 or 5 days at this point. So let's head over to our next final day spot. So our second to last Kickstarter final days slot goes to Animals at War. Now we were lucky enough to actually play a digital version of the game, and we simply loved it. It's very well done. The components, the way the tile placement is done and everything is very interesting and is new. There's a lot of strategy behind it too, depending on which creatures you draft and what abilities you want to focus on and what scenario, because it's scenario based too as well for where you're placing things and what you're trying to capture. I, of course, failed horribly at it, but it was still pretty fun to play and also had so much going on for it. I wish I had gotten a second chance to play the game again after the first time round, since I understood a little bit more of the strategy behind how you're moving things and how you're building up your defenses and so on and so forth. But this is definitely something that if you are a wargamer player and like battle tactics and stuff like that, this is definitely the game for you and you should be taking a look into it. So let's head over to the page. So this is Animals at War. It's a tactical war game on module battlefields, and it is very module based. One of the cool things is if you do enough damage to a particular tile, it also takes damage and becomes like a no man land section of the board. So there's a lot going on, and it's definitely something to look into, and they're almost funded at this point. They're just a little bit shy, but they have, I believe they're going into the last 4 days at this point. So let's take a look at their video.
Animal World War is the latest game from the Australian game studio halfmonstergames.com. With a dynamic battlefield and unique soldiers, it's set for success. Let's play around. Split all players into 2 empires. Draw a random objective card, Roaring Dragon. In this objective, we need to carry a bomb to the enemy line. Another way to win in any case is killing all enemy units. Set up the battlefield as depicted on the objective card. All white tiles can be drawn randomly or set by you if you are after a specific scenario. It's also possible to make the battlefield larger and smaller depending on the playtime available. Blue tiles are water and cannot be crossed by soldiers. The objective markers are placed on A, B. Of course, you can use miniatures from your tabletop collection as well. The herbivores spawn their army on the green tiles and the carnivores on the red tiles. Each empire draws a random tactics card. You don't need to show your opponent unless you use the card. The carnivores draw ambush tactics. The enemy goes first in army choosing. This gives you the opportunity to select a squad that can better deal with the strengths of chosen soldiers. The herbivores get Guerrilla War, a speed bonus when moving through field or forest tiles. They keep it secret for now. Carnivores play their tactics card and the herbivores have to select their squad now. Without the tactics card, soldiers would be picked in random or alternating order between the empires. It is up to you how big an army the teams have. The more units, the longer the game will last. That way you can nicely adjust if you want a quick skirmish or an afternoon-long battle. Herbivores pick an engineer, sniper and gunner. As the carnivores now know what they are up against, they prepare with a captain, chef and medic. Place 1 grenade token on each soldier. Both empires deploy their soldiers in the corresponding zones. Herbivores always take first turn. This is due to lore, but no spoilers here. Each soldier can move 1 tile and take 1 action. The game starts, herbivores are gunning straight for objective A. It looks like the engineer is setting up a barbed wire as his action. That tile cannot be entered by a soldier. The carnivores don't hesitate and send out their squad. They go for a wider field. Couple turns later and the herbivores capture their bomb. But now they have to bring it to the enemy line. With the engineer having locked down the south, they are sending the bomb away and 2 units to intercept the enemy team. Gunner tries to land a shot. He needs to roll against each tile between him and the target, shortest distance. Due to his passive ability, he can roll as if he shot 3 times. Miss. When your shot fails on a tile, the tile takes the damage. Miss. Once a tile sustains damage equal to its cover value, it becomes no man's land. In our case, the forest is flattened by all the battle rage going on and turns into no man's land. Units on tiles transforming to no man's land receive 1 damage. Luckily the tile is empty. The third shot connects. Chef takes a hit. Ouch! He wields his frying pan in anger. Chef already sustained 3 damage from fights beforehand. However, due to his passive ability, his squad can sustain 4 damage each. But this 4th hit finally takes him down. He is wounded badly. Flip the soldier card and flip his standee. A wounded soldier can be dragged by other soldiers, but if a wounded soldier sustains more damage, it's game over for him. RIP. And he's removed from the battlefield. Fear not, Medic is on his way. He cannot use his revive as he moved, but Captain comes to the rescue. As each Empire performs all actions at the same time, he can trigger his ability now. This allows the Medic to perform his revive. Thanks, Captain. In this case to 3 damage token. Without Chef's special on the squad, it would be 2 damage token. Now Medic can use his actual action and perform a small heal on the revived soldier, removing 2 damage token. We are back in business. The herbivores forgot about their eating habits and turned into savages. Engineers trying to throw a grenade. What a noob! He misses! Each soldier on the tile receives 1 damage token instead of 3. However, the terrain receives the full grenade damage of 3. The tile can't handle that much damage and turns into no man's land. This terraforming deals another 1 damage to everyone on that tile. There are tanks, planes, 12 unique soldiers with different actions, making for an exciting, always changing battle experience. Join Half Monster Games Kickstarter and be among the first to receive a copy of this action-packed game. And have a good time.
So we're going to stop it there because it goes into a little bit more detail, but we've already seen this in a previous episode. So just to go over the gameplay again, it is very module based. There's a lot going on the board, but it's extremely fun, and if you are a wargamer, this is definitely something you should look into. It's coming out of Australia by Half Monster Games. They've produced a couple of other games at this point as well, so they know what they're doing. So just to give you an idea, Canadian prices right now, for the base game itself, let me just scroll down a little bit. So to get the base game itself, it is $57 Canadian. And then if you wanted to get, let's see, this comes with a bunch of other stuff. The roleplay game beta version as well. It is $86 Canadian. So there's definitely there's a lot of lore in the game as well. So that's definitely something to look forward to. So we're going to head over to our last spot for this game, this section of the episode for the Kickstarter Last Days. It's going to be this lovely game. It looks adorable. So let's get right down to it and see what's going on. This is going into
We look up
its last
high
week.
into the clouds and point at shapes we think we see. But there's more that happens in the sky than what our minds make it to be. You know, the weather that we see, the sun, the rain, the frost, the breeze, it's them, the clouds, I tell you, that mold our skies with such great ease. With frost makes them come to be. With sun they grow without complaint. With wind they move across the sky. With rain they melt to drops again. And as they push and pull and trick and play, turns out it's not quite the simple fight. Because what are real fun and games without a whiff of playful spite? When harvest comes and growing crops yield, the clouds watch from overhead to see which one of them, in the end, nurtured fruit better than their friend. And on our oblivious afternoon park walks, we smell them content as they count their score. That pleasant, earthy, fresh, cool scent. That smell we like to call petrichor.
So Petrichor is going into its last week on Kickstarter right now. It's super adorable looking. The artwork looks so well done. Now this is coming out with the I believe it's the Collector's Edition plus Cows expansion. And the Cow expansion will bring a lot more to the game. You can also, depending on what tier you go with, you can get the previous expansions for the game as well. So it's definitely something to look into. So there's the flower expansion, the honeybee expansion. They are going to try and do some other stuff as well, to my knowledge. So the base pledge, if you wanted to get the starter gardening kit, is $53. Which comes with the base game. And then if you want to go in for more than that, you can get the $86 pledge, Canadian pledge, which gives you everything in the first edition plus the collector's edition upgrade, some promo cards, stretch goals, and so on. And I believe there's one more tier. Yes, so there's the Eternal Fields, which gives you all the expansions, all the upgrades, all the stretch goals, all the promo cards that are available. And that one's a little bit of a higher price point. That's $133 Canadian. So we'll be right back as we go and check in on Kickstarter Live Right Now segment. We'll be right back. Excuse me. Let's start that again. So Kickstarter Live Right Now is our next segment, and we're going to go straight into it. So the first one, we actually got to try this during Gen Con last weekend as one of their demo tables. So this was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it extremely. It's kind of a set collection, race to the finish kind of thing. And essentially the concept is you are trying to have the most riches to be able to give to the pharaoh to then become the next priest or priestess of the pharaoh. So let's get down to it and see what the page has.
Tutankhamun, the boy king, has passed. By order of the new pharaoh, his priests and priestesses are tasked to gather artifacts for the tomb that will accompany the late king on his journey to the afterlife. The one who rids themselves of all their wealth as tribute will be named High Priest of Egypt.
Tutankhamun, the classic Reiner Knizia game, returns in a new edition with stunning new artwork and expanded gameplay. Follow the vast and winding Nile, from its delta to the Great Pyramid, acquiring valuable artifacts in the name of the late pharaoh. Collect a wealth of treasures from trinkets to priceless relics along your journey, paying tribute to your fallen king by placing complete sets of artifacts around his sarcophagus. Compete against others to show your love for Tutankhamun and secure your place in the afterlife.
Throughout your journey, discover enchanted idols that bestow upon you the power of the gods to aid in your push for victory.
The first to unburden themselves of all their wealth and worldly possessions to their fallen pharaoh will win the game and be named High Priest of Egypt.
The pharaoh's tomb awaits in Tutankhamun from 25th Century Games.
So Tutankhamun looks extremely well done. Like I said, we got a chance to play the demo of this during Gen Con. We were sold on it right away. So let's take a look and see how much it is. So this is being done by 25th Century Games, coming out from the States. And let's see what the pledge looks like for the Canadian backer. So base game with mini expansion is 39 Canadian. And then let's see if we want the standard edition plus playmat, it's 59 Canadian. And then if you wanted the Pharaoh's edition, it's 66 Canadian, which gives you the deluxe game, deluxe mini expansion. And if you wanted with the playmat as well, that will run you $86 Canadian. Now this is going into its last 4 days. I believe this was a 15-day campaign versus a 30-day campaign. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure I'd have to back check. But it is going into its last 4 days at this point. So let's head on to the next one. This was another one we got a chance to play. It's called A Vampires the Masquerade Rivals expandable card game by Renegade Game Studios. We got to try demo. We didn't get to film it because there was quite a lot of things that weren't completed or they didn't want to show off right away. But this is now on Kickstarter and live, and I can't wait to play more of it. It looks so well done. But the demo was a lot of fun. It has a lot of unique deck building and engine pulling mechanics. So let's get down to the page and see what it looks like.
When the sun sets, the undead awaken. To slake their hunger, they feed upon the herd of unaware mortals. Right beneath our noses, the kindred clash against their rivals as they vie for control of the city of San Francisco. Vampire the Masquerade Rivals is an expandable card game for 2 to 4 players based on the popular role-playing game set in the world of darkness. Each player will begin the game with one of 4 starting vampire decks featuring 4 clans: Toreador, Ventru, Bruja, or Malkavian. At the beginning of each player's turn, a new card appears in the streets. Players take actions claiming titles, recruiting new vampires, or risk confrontations by taking to the streets. Vampires are powerful beings with a range of abilities. Beware your rivals. Their attacks may hurt your reputation or send a member of your coterie into torpor. Advance your agenda or eliminate your rival to reign victorious over the city. Are you strong enough to cheat final death and see another night? Back Vampire the Masquerade Rivals expandable card game today.
When I saw this pop up in their panel at Gen Con, the artwork alone really caught my eye. I found it suited the theme very well, so we will definitely look into it. It has funded. It's going into its last 11 days. And let's see what it looks like for pledging for Canadian backers. So, let's see. So the base game, which comes with 63 cards, is $54 Canadian. If you go... Oh, there's a French version, it looks like. Yeah, there's a French version as well for those who parlent en français. There's quite a lot of different... Let's see here. So there's an all-in pledge that it is 134 Canadian, also in French as well. And then there is one for backers for stores, which is 335 Canadian. So that's interesting. There's quite a lot going on. Like I said, this was very interesting to try the demo. There is a lot going on for the way that the game is built and the engines work for the cards. It will take you a little bit of time to get used to how things play because there's a lot of like give and take mechanics that aren't seen in a lot of other games, but it's unique in that way as well. Oh, and there are certain cards that are Kickstarter exclusive. Kickstarter exclusive, the bane of my existence, because I do want to collect all of it. So yeah, so that's coming out in the next 11 days is going to be the last of its Kickstarter, and it is currently funded, well funded, and is by Renegade Game Studios. So we'll definitely take a look at this again, maybe closer to the end date or going into its final days. So let's go on and check the next thing that's currently live right now on Kickstarter. Now, I'm a huge fan of Simon. Not sure if I'm going to back this one. So this is the new expansion and standalone sequel to Massive Darkness, which came out about, I think, 2-ish years ago at this point. It was very well received. So let's get down to the video and see what they have. So as always, CMON has incredible minis in their games, and it's definitely something I would like to back, but I don't think I will at this point. I think I will wait until it comes to retail. I know I'll be missing out on some Kickstarter exclusives, which is always something that happens with CMON's campaigns, but at this point I would want to play the original game first to see if there's much of a difference as well. There seems to be a lot going on when it comes to different characters. The artwork is gorgeous as well. Let's take a look and see how much a pledge is for the base game. So it is $134 for the Hellscape pledge in French and English. And then if you wanted to get the Heavenfall pledge, which comes with Hellscape and Heavenfall campaign mode and upgrade kits, it's $195. Yeah, a little bit steep for my pocket right now. In all honesty, with a lot of the products that CMON has been coming out recently, I might want to wait before backing, but they've already funded. They shouldn't have any issues dealing with getting this out to the public, so we'll just have to wait and see. But that's my opinion right now with Massive Darkness 2 Hellscape. Would I back? Probably not, but it's definitely something to look into if you're huge into the miniatures and also want to get a lot of Kickstarter exclusive content. So our next one up on Kickstarter Live right now is Tale Stories. It's a reverse deck building game. It's currently in 26 days to fund. They are about the halfway mark right now. So let's dive right into it and see what we have right now.
Introducing Tale Story, a card game by card gamers for everyone. With no complicated game rules or hard to remember card effects. With lots of pets. Anyone can enjoy Tale Story, whether during a family time, a game night with your pals, or a bonding session with your weird coworkers. To play this game, each player has to first choose his or her favorite character card, from felines, canines, or rodents and friends. The objective of the game is to draw as many cards as possible to finish up your deck. Pretty basic, isn't it? Players can use event cards to boost their game, or mess with another player's strategy. Plus, playing a card that matches their character's type will trigger a bonus. And don't forget that other players can stop you with stopping event cards too. As the game proceeds, each character's true identity will also be revealed. A chef, a hunter, adventurers, and many more. And that's not all we have. What makes this game special? The acting event cards. These cards let players activate their ultimate moves by making the animal sounds. Other players with the same character type can also make that sound to gain a benefit too. Enjoy playing this strategic game and unleash your inner pets! Ow, 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 ow. With utterly innocent artworks with no hidden meaning whatsoever. And stay tuned for the updates of our expansions. Please help us create Tale Story by backing us on Kickstarter.
This looks super cute. So they're 59% through their funding. They still have 26 days to go. This looks super adorable and not too complicated. And like the story said, the video said it's a reverse deck builder. So there's definitely a lot going on. The artwork looks unique and super well done. There's transformation for characters as well. So let's see how much this is for Canadian backers. So the standard basic pledge is $33 Canadian. And then if you wanted to get the Kickstarter exclusive holograph base game, it's $53 Canadian. All-in pledge is $114 Canadian. And the all-in holographic Kickstarter exclusive is $146 Canadian. Not too bad for a card game. And then, they even have a prototype plus holographic all-in Kickstarter exclusive, which is $401 Canadian. And I believe that would probably be shipping out earlier. Yeah, there's 19 left out of 20, and that would be shipped out June 2021. That's super exciting. There's even a 99 pledge one exclusive. You can design your own card. So that's $1,338 Canadian. I won't be backing that. I'm sorry. I love board games, but I can't back that right now. So again, the base game for this is, let's scroll back up again. So the base game standard is $33. For the holographic Kickstarter version, it's $53. So not too bad. Definitely has a bit of a way to go still, but it's still got plenty of time to fund. But it looks extremely cute and something we would definitely back. So let's head on over to our next live right now Kickstarter. So this is Valve, the game of letters gone astray. We've seen a couple of people talk about this game so far, and it looked really interesting, so let's take a look at the video.
Let's start things off with a puzzle. Here's a word, but I've taken out all of the vowels. Can you guess what it is? Did you guess saber? What about severe? Or sever? This is Val, the fast-paced game of letters gone astray. Val is a one-of-a-kind game from Cameron Art Games, in which you'll have to race against time and each other to recognize words that have had their vowels removed. Roll your custom dice and build your pile of cards, drawing extra, more difficult cards based upon where you are on the scoring track. All of these cards, of course, have words with their vowels removed. Get ready! You'll only have 25 seconds to get through your pile in one of 3 distinct game modes. Play solo and race against the clock. Choose an opponent to play against in real time. Or team up with a partner and work together to solve an even larger pile of cards. With every success, you'll get to choose how you score your points, charging full speed ahead or playing it safe in an attempt to make future turns easier. The first player to have their scoring token reach their victory token will win the game. Val includes more than 400 unique puzzle cards in 3 different difficulty levels, a 25-second sand timer, 2 custom dice, player tokens, and a uniquely tiered scoring board. Want to customize your difficulty? Just flip the double-sided scoring board to its advanced side, or try using the included extra difficult sand timer. Val, sure to be a delight at any game night. Back it now on Kickstarter.
So this is 32% funded at this point. Still has a little under a month to go. It's got 25 days to go. Looks super interesting. I'm horrible with word games, but I think something like this I would definitely be interested in because I'm really good at seeing different patterns or different missing objects in puzzles like this. So let's take a little bit closer look here and see what the pledges are for Canadian prices. So the base game is $39 Canadian. You can get the early access version for $61 Canadian. You can get 2 copies for $74 Canadian. And retail pledge is $101 Canadian. So $101 Canadian. This definitely looks very interesting and definitely something unique that we haven't seen before. So definitely something to keep your eye on if you are into word games. So we're going to head over to our next live right now Kickstarter. So we're heading into Samurai Brothers Ninja Battle Game. It plays 2 to 6 players. Good for, plays in about 30 to 60 minutes. And it's a tableau management set collecting game. So let's get down to the video and see what we've got.
When the Emperor died, order became chaos. 6 of our family's sacred heirlooms were stolen. My uncle Oho looked at his 6 strong nephews and said, "The bird may only fly when its feathers are grown." Only the one who would find all missing heirlooms would be named Shogun, and that someone would be me. Now quickly, Sensei, we must build my temple and dojo.
こやつ全然わかっとらんの。
What? My brothers have hired this honorable ninja. I must assemble a force of my own.
このゲームを買って見せてやれ。
They are babies. If I can't get all heirlooms, I will have no choice but to render my brothers powerless once and for all. Is that an alligator? Sensei, bring me more ninja, baby ninja, and alligators. No, not at the same time.
So this looks super interesting. I love the concept of the game. So it's 13% funded, still has 23 days to go. And I know that we're going to be taking a look at the digital version of this game in the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. But this definitely looks like something that's up our alley. This is their second creation on Kickstarter. So let's take a look at how it's funding or how much it would cost us. So it's $43 Canadian for the base game plus all Kickstarter exclusive and stretch goals. There's a legendary version where you get the base game, all stretch goals, digital stuff, and the art book, which is $66 Canadian. There is the retail version, which is $108 Canadian. So if there are retailers looking for something new from Kickstarter, there's definitely something here for you as well. So this is something we'll definitely be looking into a little bit more. It still has quite a few days to go, so we'll definitely come back to this one in particular. So we're going to head over to our next live right now. Now, I just finished binge watching the Umbrella Academy on Netflix, and then they announced the Umbrella Academy game on Kickstarter. Coincidence? I think so. So this has 21 days left to go. It's already funded, so let's head over the page and see what the game looks like.
And in an occurrence of complete coincidence, 43 extraordinary children were born. None of these women had been pregnant when the day first began. With over 1 million copies sold and adapted into a blockbuster Netflix series, celebrated publisher Dark Horse Comics and Studio 71 have teamed up to create an exciting game about a heroic but dysfunctional family. The Umbrella Academy card game. Here's how it works. Start a round by revealing a dysfunctional family card from the pile. This card will set the rules and play for that round. The deadly villains come next. You'll battle villains like the Conductor, Hazel and Cha-Cha, and many more. On your turn, play an attack card from your hand to try and beat the value of the villain's attack. Compare attack values. The greatest value will win the battle. Keep a close watch on your team. You may need to use a turn to heal your hero or play a story card. The siblings will use their unique powers to overcome the villain's efforts into the final battle. Take on the roles of Space Boy. Play this card to inflict double damage and pound your opponent. The Kraken. Play this powerful brother and play 2 cards in the same turn. The Rumor. Whisper "I heard a rumor" to any opponent and they instantly die. Seance. Use this ghostly caller to summon any of your dead cards back to life for instant play. The Boy. Transcend time and space by moving any 2 attack cards already placed. The Horror. Help your family and play this card to give extra life to any of your team. Valia. Big things come in little packages. Use this rare card to deliver a devastating blow to your opponent. If you can stay alive long enough, then you will be victorious. Based on the renowned comic book series by Gerard Way and Gabriel Barr. Bring the world of Umbrella Academy to your home. The Umbrella Academy card game exclusively on Kickstarter.
Oh man, it looks so good. So it's got 21 days. It's already funded. It funded in less than an hour. And it seems that it's got a lot of cool features, a lot of information. It is based off of the comic, not the TV series. So there will be differences, but it looks very interesting. So let's take a look at what the pledges look like. So the standard edition is $34 Canadian, which is actually really well placed price-wise. The deluxe edition is $61 Canadian. The collector's edition is $101, and the collector edition comes with the volume 1 art book, Kickstarter exclusive stuff. That's crazy. Then there's the retail pledge, which is 201, since it seems like they're publishing or they're advertising it as being only a Kickstarter exclusive. So that's definitely something for retailers to look into if they have a chance to. I'm sold on it. I definitely want to get this, especially the fact that I love the Umbrella Academy TV series. The comic is just a general next thing I will probably be picking up for my reading. So let's head over to our next live right now on Kickstarter. So it's Lizard Wizard by Forbidden Games. I've heard a lot about this one as well. It looks super interesting. So let's get down to the page and see what it's about.
Astoria, a land populated by dragons, a land pulsing with magic and intrigue. A secret cabal of archmages are vying for the loyalty of wizards across the land in their quest for ultimate power. Each wizard is adept at one of the 7 schools of magic: conjuring, enchantment, sorcery, necromancy, thaumaturgy, druidry, and alchemy. They gain power by conjuring and occupying a tower of their school, and are served by a familiar of that school of magic, summoned to aid in the gathering of magical reagents, the ingredients necessary for the casting of spells. Familiars are the only ones capable of finding the ever-shifting entrance to the dungeons of Astoria, filled with treasures and monsters. Lizard Wizard is a game from the team that created Raccoon Tycoon. Like Raccoon Tycoon, it is an action selection game. On your turn, you can research and cast spells, recruit a wizard, gather reagents and convert them to mana, conjure a tower, summon a familiar to perform several actions, including scoring and entering the dungeon. At the end of the game, you'll score for each matched set of wizards, towers, and spells from the same school of magic, for treasure from the dungeon, and for special spell powers. Lizard Wizard, the next classic from Forbidden Games, available on Kickstarter starting July 28th.
So I have to say the one thing that really pulled me towards seeing this game was the artwork. The artwork was something super well done. And they may look like lizards, but they look like tiny dragons, which essentially is what lizards are in reality. But the artwork is gorgeous. The concept seems very interesting. And there's a lot going on from what it looks like in the trailer itself. And the familiars look super cute as well. So if you're looking to pledge for this one is currently, let's see, it's $66 Canadian for the Platinum Edition, limited Platinum Edition. It is, for the Archmage, it's $120. For the, oh no, there just seems to be 2. So there's the $66 pledge and then the $120 pledge. And then there is the retail version that is $168. So if you are interested in this, there is a Kickstarter one for retails as well. But I think if I had the option, I would definitely back this. It's something gorgeous. It's something I don't have on my shelf right now either. And it looks like it'll be something that would be an instant classic as well. So we're going to head over. We've got 3 left for this episode for live right now. So Swap Words is our next one. It's an interactive game with letters and words, and there are a bunch of things going on in this game. We actually got to do an interview with the creator, so make sure to check that out if you have a chance to. So let's get down to the page and see what we've got. It is already funded, but it still has 21 days to go. So let's see what we've got.
My name is Pete, and I'm the designer of WordSwap. The idea for this game came from a desire to create a word game that everyone can love, not just word game fanatics. You know who you are. Through trading, set collection, and category-based bonuses, WordSwap allows for multiple different strategies to win. While spelling long and complex words will still be worth the effort, spelling short words can be just as viable if you play your cards right. For those who love word games but can never get anyone to play with you, WordSwap may be the perfect solution. To play the game, your group will take turns playing cards to spell words. You may also trade with other players to get the cards you need. Words that have at least 3 letters may be scored to earn points, collect bonuses, and free up space. At the end of the game, whomever has earned the most points claims victory. Trade for the cards you need, discard the ones you don't, and earn as many bonuses as you can to win the game. We are very proud of this final product and are so glad to finally be offering it to the public. Thank you for watching, and we hope you consider supporting our campaign.
So like I said, this is funded. It's got 21 days left to go. So let's take a look for the Canadian pledge level. So the print and play is, the print and play version is $7 Canadian. If you want to get your own copy of the game, it is $39 Canadian. If you want to get a 1 copy of the game plus some Kickstarter exclusive stuff, it's $46. And then if you want to get 3 copies of the game plus some Kickstarter exclusive stuff, it is $113 Canadian. So we're going into our last 2 spots on Kickstarter live right now. So dear to our heart is Dragon Bond. Dragon Bond is something that Draco Studios has been working on for quite a while now, and they're doing a new wave of miniatures, the 3D STL files. So let's get down to it and see what we've got here.
Valerna, a land filled with magic, a land without gods and marked by a curse. As a rite of passage, the dragons of the Red Moon ferociously swoop to scourge the domains of Valerna, feast from them, and bring tribute to the great worms. In the midst of carnage, some dragons collide with a worthy Valernian. Their life force merges with the potential for grandeur. The mark of the Dragon Bond, a bond that can't be refused. 2 distinct fates become one. Led by the Dragon Bonded, great realms arose. Their different motivations made way to conflict, thus forging mighty armies commanded by their dragon-riding general. Now, the realms of Valerna vie for control. Dragon Bond, Battles of Valerna, is a turn-based miniature war game with highly detailed 3D models based on the original concept designs from Dragon Bond. Players assemble an army with several units led by a powerful dragon-bonded general who can turn the tide of a battle. By using exchangeable cards, you can pair units with different captains. Dragons and generals are also coupled with archetypes of your choice. This allows you to fully customize your army, making every encounter unique. The dice system in the game allows you to upgrade your dice, giving some control over rolls and results, to match your strategy while retaining the thrill of chance. To achieve victory, you must complete particular objectives to score points at the end of each round. The game is played using alternating activations where units become fatigued after taking actions. You must assess the risks and rewards of using your most powerful units in a single round. With too much fatigue, their dice rolls could be permanently downgraded. Your captains provide unique abilities to your units while they're alive. When your unit gets enough wounds, you must remove one of its models. If you choose to sacrifice the captain, a new special ability will be activated. The general you choose impacts in how your army will be played. Generals and dragons can be customized with archetype cards. You can also choose them to be dragon bonded to get additional abilities, or even have a dragon riding general with stronger stats. The link between dragon bonded and dragon is risky though, as the death of one also causes the death of the other. But with a solid strategy, your whole army will succeed. By pledging into this Kickstarter, you will get highly detailed models for 3D printing at home. You can also earn additional perks by joining into our massive beta playtesting to help us polish the game before going to mass production in 2021. You will also get beta access to Lair, a community and platform focused on tabletop 3D printing assets to safely store and access your files or connect with 3D printers near your area. With your support, we'll be able to design more units, captains, generals, and even create more armies for future releases. Choose your army and bring Dragon Bond Battles of Valerna directly from your 3D printer at home to your table.
So this has funded. It still has 11 days to go. It's very interesting concept. I'd like to see how the development of the actual skirmish game goes. Because they do talk about it, but it doesn't seem like there's a lot. Well, maybe there's more in the details in the Kickstarter page itself. I've seen some of the 3D models printed already, and they're gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of dragons, so right off the bat, this is something I need on my table. But it seems like the price point would be a very good thing for people who do have a 3D printer as well and enjoy dragons. So one army is $34 Canadian. Getting 2 armies and a free terrain is $61. To get 2 armies and a great worms, it's $114 Canadian. And then all STL files are $173 Canadian. So there's definitely a lot of models. Oh, and if you want to become a playable captain in the game, it's $2,008. So definitely a lot to look into if you're into miniatures, printing at home, painting. You want to learn more about Dragon Bond. There seems to be a lot going on the Kickstarter page. And Draco Studio has been putting a lot of love into the Dragon Bond series. So definitely make sure to take a look. So we'll be heading into our last spot on live right now on Kickstarter. We'll be right back. So we're heading into our last spot on Kickstarter live right now. And I've got to say this one really caught my eye. I love the artist for this particular game. So let's just get right to it and see what we've got.
And last but not least, check out my newest game on Kickstarter. Over the last year, I've been developing a new game called Cafe Chaos. You start the game by choosing a character with a unique ability, target other players, and throw food combos like
moldy, double deep fried couch cushion candy, or a frozen chocolate pretzel that's pickled. That's actually an illegal move, so don't do that.
Avoid taking splat points by ducking or using your character's special ability while grabbing more food to throw at opponents. There's a whole bunch of characters to choose from, but I also invited some friends of mine to join the fight. Their cards can be found in the Animators pack, and you can see all the other packs over on my Kickstarter page. Some of these deals will only be available for the 30-day campaign, so be sure to check them out before they disappear forever. Hopefully, this game will help you get through quarantine as much as it's helped me. Thank you all for watching, and wear your seatbelt.
So this has 32 days left on its campaign. It is already funded. It looks so much fun. I mean, just Cafe Chaos, come on. It's something that looks amazingly well done. And it's definitely something up our alley. It's something fast, it's fun. There's definitely multiple different combination of cards that you can use. There's the creator pack. There is certain things. So pledge levels, this is US currency. I will double check in Canadian in just a sec. So there's the original edition, which is 25 US, then 45 for the Kickstarter exclusive Animators pack. There's booster pack bundles. Is that a lunchbox? You get a lunchbox with this campaign? Okay, that kind of throws in a little bit more for me. There's the collector edition at $130, and then there's the Fantastic Bundle at $250, $500. It's a virtual meet and greet as well. So they've got quite an arrangement of character cards to start with. Then you've got you've got the animator pack. So a bunch of different animators are joining the game. There's the Subway pack. Junk food pack as well. And then there's exclusive merch for this particular campaign as well. So there's different characters from the game as plushies, your choice of mint or black backpack, and then there's some behind the scenes stuff as well. I love this this particular artist. He's done a lot of really great things in the community, and it's always a pleasure to see his new projects come to bloom like this. So I hope that it keeps going really well and that they fund extremely high. So let's just take a look here and see what Canadian prices are. So not too bad. It's 34 Canadian for the base pledge. For the Kickstarter exclusive animator pack, it's 61. For the booster pack bundle with the base game, it's 108. If you want to get the collector's edition, it's 175. So you get 3 plushies, holographic animator cards, the Oots Odd Ones Out lunchbox, which that's the one that's really getting me. Like, I would drop $175 on this just for the lunchbox alone and bragging rights to have that. It is going worldwide. Oh, it's shipping in 2020. That's very interesting. Then there's the 250 US, so that's a 335 Canadian. And then that one's already gone. So yeah, so the highest tier one you can get is 335. It's a lot going into it. You'll have to check out the page to see what else you can see. So that will be our last spot for this episode. So thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to catch you guys next time at the table.